Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Never a Phase Network presents to you the #1 emo podcast on the planet, Emo Kids Anonymous. I'm your host, Rob LaFoon. Unfortunately, my co-host Amanda could not be here today. Shout out Amanda. Shout out CZB on the boards. Today we got a hell of an episode, okay? I got Jeremy. Jeremy's running a festival in Baltimore, JermFest, on May 30th. The pre-show is May 29th, and my God, for some godforsaken reason, this sweetheart decided to book Jake Langley of Handguns. So obviously we had to talk about that. We had to talk about the ins and outs of booking a festival and booking shows and promoting and how to do it ethically and, you know, from a small time to a large time and all the in-betweens, diving in. And, you know, as you know, by the time this is coming out, we're doing a little legwork. We're going to get something going for you guys soon. So it was cool to get to pick their brain and, you know, get some fucking, you know, some cool stories going in the meantime as well. Obviously, as someone who grew up in the scene, you know, we talk a little newfound glory, little story so far, stuff like that as well. So, you know, a little bit of everything. But before we do all that, I need you to do me a favor, you know, subscribe to stay up to date, prescribe to the pod, go check us out on the internet, okay? EmoKidsAnonymous.com, NeverPhaseNetwork.com, you know, we got all sorts of stuff over there. Social links are down there. We got a Discord. Go consensually smash the subscribe button, bro. I don't fucking know. Anyways, as you know, this episode's brought to you by our friends over at Protege, okay? You go over to Protege, you enter Emo Kids at checkout, you get your first bottle of Protege for only $10. But after that, you're gonna be like, well, like me here, I'm running out, you know? And you're gonna be like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? How do I get more? You know? Well, you go to Protege.com again, and you enter Rob40 at checkout, and then more shows up for 40% off. You just go, Rob40, bottle of Protege shows up in a box. All in one face serum. It's got moisturizer, retinol. I was gonna say it's got serotonin in it. Legally, I can't say that, but maybe it does. Maybe it does. It's got retinol. It's got sunscreen, fucking vitamins and minerals and shit like that. Get yourself some fucking Protege and fix your face, okay? Now, without further ado, this is my conversation with Jeremy of Germfest.
Is that better?
Yeah, sorry, that's such a fucked up way to first meet people, and it used
to
happen. It used to happen like every other time. Well, it's like I feel like I'm, you know, like
Oh, you're fine.
kicking you out of my house right away, and like Catherine normally sends the email that explains that, and
yeah, no, that's okay.
That's why we have a team now. I'm too loosey goosey.
Oh, that's okay. Hey, I was fine. I was like, oh crap, like, because I didn't even think about it either, like, because I have to use my phone because my webcam broke, so, and like I don't have access to my webcam from my computer.
Yeah, honestly, like the phone's better even sometimes. Like I used to there was a while where I recorded the show on my phone,
Yeah.
and it was honestly like when we did the Gabe Saporta episode, we're using phones. Yeah, oh yeah, those are we're using phones. Like we used fucking iPhones.
Oh, okay.
Like you know, I don't know, like they're pretty good. We don't know. Anyways,
Yeah.
Jeremy, welcome to Emo Kids Anonymous. Why don't you tell these people who you are and what you do?
Hi, my name is Jeremy Scott. I am a filmmaker and recently they say promoter, but I call it glorified party planner.
I like that better.
Yeah, because when you hear the word promoter, you think like there's so many different, like it could be ucky to some people, like
Yeah. As someone that played in bands, I hear promoter, like usually I'm thinking like, yeah, I'm thinking some dude in like sweatpants rolling up, like with his hand, you know, kind of like chinsing you a little on your money, and you're just like, fuck,
Yeah.
you know, like this guy sucks.
Yeah, no, and I do every so I when this so I've learned a lot in this like from a promoter standpoint, and I've learned like what to do and what not to do. Like, and basically,
Sick.
like, what I've learned is like, and then I try not to do what they've done, like, because there are some things that I don't agree with that a lot of people do, and it's just like, no, not for me.
Hell yeah. This is fascinating because um by the time this come out, I think they'll at least be a little info on it, but like we're planning some events ourselves, like some shows, pre-parties, a festival, things like that. And so it's like I'm very curious to pick your brain here as well, as someone
Yeah,
who has not, I've played, I've booked my own shows and blah blah blah, but like yeah, there's a lot different. So
yeah. What
you're
is
in
it?
Baltimore, right?
Yes, I'm in Baltimore, based out
I
of Baltimore, Maryland.
I'm repping for you today.
All right.
Um so filmmaker turn
I'm still doing
glorified party
films as
planner. How'd you
well.
get? Yeah. So you're mainly like a film, like a
Yeah.
film head.
Yeah.
What's cinephile? That's the word.
Yep. Cinephile. Yep. My background started off in film and eventually just got involved in the local music scene. And then I met some people and I said, you know what? Eventually I'm going to throw shows together. And I took the biggest jump last year and actually did it.
Sick. So what made you do the jump and what was it like? Let's go to the
Yeah.
process and the lineup.
S- So the very first show I ever did was going to be at a place called Reverb in Baltimore. It was a very, very small venue, probably like 100, not even 100 cap. They say 100 cap, but it's probably more like 75 because it looked like just like the size of like a glorified basement in a way.
Okay.
So
Like we
I
got
had
support beams in the middle, like where the circle pit is and
actually
stuff.
no
Oh,
support beams.
okay.
Actually, no support beams. That's the crazy thing.
I was gonna say that's maybe they needed the support beams. I don't know.
So we did this. So I was gonna have it there, but after the venue closed, I had to either find a new home. So me and the bands were trying our best to find a new home. We found a home, and then the lineup changed multiple times to the final. We literally were like 9 days from the show before we had the final lineup like fully confirmed. But
Who
that
was
was
booked
due
on this?
to
Who was booked on here? Was there any names that we might know?
it was all locals, but the loss it was actually their very first ever time headlining. They're normally direct supporting bands, and then we had Squid Teeth, who was a two-piece acoustic emo, like acoustic surf emo, they called it.
Sick.
It was pretty cool.
I'm
They were pretty
intrigued.
good.
Yeah.
And of course, I had my friends Armani Broken and a band that is no longer a band, so I'm not going to say who they were. Um, And then we had my good friend Jeff from Astronaut Country Club on that show. It was actually his first show in like 6 months, and I was like, "Dude, I
I
want to have you on a show."
I feel like I used to see that guy when I very, very first downloaded TikTok, like a couple years ago, like on an
Yeah,
old account. Like I don't think I've seen him since. Like wow.
yeah, he's doing stuff now. I think he just put out a new song the other day, or is about to release
Okay.
something. But yeah, he hasn't done a show since my show, and I'm trying to get him on another show, but it's just kind of like the schedules just aren't lining up. But hopefully one day.
God, yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
the show, how does it go? For
For
better or
July,
for worse?
so when I got to do the show, the first when it was just gonna be at Reverb, it was more like gonna be like, "Oh, just pay the venue space," which was like, I think it was like $100, which isn't bad. That's a pretty good deal.
It's
And then,
insane. Yeah.
yeah, so but then when the venue closed, I had to then go find a new venue. So I eventually just ended up having to pay for sound and venue rental, which wasn't a big deal. It wasn't I just was like, "Look, we gotta make this show happen," so I did that, and everyone had a great time. I was out $27 at the end of the night, so I guess in the end of the day, it could be worse.
27 bucks did pretty good, I think.
Yeah, but my show in December, I was like 80 out.
That's okay. These are reasonable numbers to be missing
Yeah.
out. You know what I mean? Like that's a lot better than like losing a few thousand or something like that.
Oh,
Like
yeah, for sure. That would've
yeah,
been like, "Oh, no."
yeah, like 20 bucks. I'm like I'd consider that. That's like going to the casino and only losing like $100. It's like, like no, I
Yeah.
won. I got to have fun for a couple hours. Like, like
Yeah.
that was a really
Yeah,
good you paid 30 bucks to throw like a sick fucking party.
Yeah, pretty much. It was a
You
pretty
you
good
would have
deal.
paid that much for a case of beer for the party.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, it was just a lot of fun. Everyone had a great time, and I just kept going, and I was like, look, I'm gonna get on like, I was just like, all right, I'm gonna book shows. I'm gonna keep booking shows. Like, I'm gonna look for shows to book, and uh, in August of last year. Oh, I don't know if you do you want to go on to the next show, or did it matter
Yeah,
how
keep
you
going,
want to
keep
pick it?
going, keep going.
So I'll just lead up to what I'm trying to promote is so in August of last year interviewed I interviewed a friend of mine who at the time was working with handguns. Um yeah,
Handguns.
yeah, handguns. So and I had never heard of them, but I started doing some research and I realized they had like some pretty big, like they weren't technically a huge band, but they weren't not necessarily not like known.
They
So
were kind of like they were on the cusp of the cusp almost. Like that was a name I remember like seeing around like with Man Overboard and stuff, but like kind of like
yeah, and it's funny because so at the time I was friends with somebody who also worked with them, and they said they'll play they'll play this house show you're throwing in October, and I'm like, what? There's no way this band that's like got like 60,000 followers is gonna go play in a basement. And it's like, why? They played a burger restaurant in PA, and I'm like, okay. So I was like, well, if you could get them, that'd be cool. 5 minutes later, I get a text. Yep, we're in. So I was like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna have this big pop punk band in a basement in October. Like, how is this gonna how'd this happen? So and actually it's really funny because up to the show, I didn't know if it was gonna happen. Like they were actually gonna show up and play. But someone out here in Baltimore who's been trying to book them forever literally asked me, "How did you get them?" And I haven't been able to. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm wondering if they're gonna show up tomorrow.
incredible.
So they did. They showed up to this basement, and it was really fun. And actually, one of the people that was at that basement that was working the show literally said, "I get to go brag to people at work on Monday that they played my basement."
Wow.
Yeah, so it was just a lot of fun. That show was probably like one of the best because at the end of the day, that was actually free to host. So whatever the show made, it basically just went to the bands.
Okay, I think that let me go shut this. They got this goddamn weed whacker leaf blowing motherfucker out here. Hold on. All right, that's as good as I'm gonna get. Anyways, so
That's it.
how Jake, I will say, is one guy that I talked to him the other day on the phone. Real sweetheart,
Yeah,
fucking menace,
yeah,
unpalatable,
mm,
unprofessional, unpersonable, electric,
yeah.
electric. Like
He's been
he's a lot. He's a lot.
yeah,
But he'll
he's
show up.
been
Like he told me that. He's like, oh, we'll show up fucking anywhere. He's like, I don't care. Like, we'll play at a gas
yeah,
station. Yeah. Like, so yeah, once you said that, I'm like, of course they'd show up. Like, that motherfucker will
yeah,
drive down there or up
yeah.
there.
So so they played with a band called No. So that show had them, and they brought their friends along, No Takebacks, who had never played Maryland before. They'd been trying to get down here, and their guitarist hit me up and said, "Dude, I really want to play Baltimore. I really want to play Maryland. Can you hook us up?" And I was like, "There's room for you to play, sure." And it actually helped them out in their long run because they're all going on tour. They're doing a couple shows at Philly Rooster Band next month, which is cool because that they met them at that show and they basically did like a show trade. Like, we'll play, we'll bring you guys the PA, and you guys can play a couple shows with us as long as you bring us back to Maryland. And they actually fulfilled that promise.
That's beautiful. That's the way it should be.
Yeah, and I actually love it when bands network. I've worked with bands. I've worked shows where bands don't care if you're if you're playing a show with them. They don't care. They're like, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. That's, I see that a lot here. It depends on, it's pockets. Scenes are like kind of pockets, where
Yeah.
certain communities are very, yeah, I was talking to, Kiefer and Joe from Tequila Mockingbird last night. And I was like, yeah, like Michigan, you know, I was like, you guys have a great scene. I was like, what's in the water, you know, besides the lead? And Kiefer's like, there's nothing in the water. It's hard fucking work. Like we built this. And
Yeah.
I'm like, hell yeah. Like, fuck yeah. You know, like
Yeah.
this isn't luck. Like we cultivated this. We had house shows. We threw the parties. If we were in the bands, we were in the front. We were the ones stage diving. Like we created, like we set an example and we all looked out for each other. And it's like, that's why I've heard of so many bands from Lansing, fucking Michigan, you know?
Yeah. I'm trying to get bands from farther out, but it's like a little bit more difficult because sometimes you can't necessarily fulfill their riders, or you
I was
just
gonna
don't
say,
have,
yeah.
or if you can't, or if they're not on tour, like it's a little bit harder for them to do like a one off.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, the festival that I'm throwing in May,
Yep.
I reached out to before the full lineup was announced, before I even had all the lineup. It didn't even start out as a festival.
What was it? Were you just gonna do one day, kind of like just one
It was
show?
gonna be one show. It was just gonna be so. I guess I guess I'll just skip the. Well, I guess it kind of ties into this. So about October, I started planning my birthday show. It was just gonna be like a couple bands, and just them play for my birthday. Just gonna throw like a birthday party kind of thing. But I reached out to a few bands that I wanted to have one there. There's a band called First to 11. Have you heard of them?
Uh-uh.
So they're a cover band from Erie, Pennsylvania, and I had reached out to them to play, and the date I gave them was May 30th, which is the day of the festival. And again, before it was a festival, it was just gonna be like a couple bands kind of thing. Well, when I got an email from them, they said we usually only allow one local to open for our show, and then it's just gonna be us. I'm like, and in my head, I'm saying, screw that, because with the money you
Mm,
guys want, I could
I can get,
take
yeah.
get like 5 or 6 local bands together and have a party on a Saturday. You can't sell a 2-band lineup, on a Saturday night. It's hard.
No.
I mean, it's doable, don't get me wrong, but you're gonna be out of money at the end of the night.
Yeah, exactly. And you better have some fucking, those bands better fucking pull or something like that. They
Yeah,
better be dumb
I would
bill.
have to reach out to a PA band that has basically around the same amount of following.
Yeah, you need
Having
to get,
2
yeah.
ba Having 2 PA bands in a Maryland city, it's like, you better make sure, like, that's how you get your money back. And then on top of it, I have to sell the tickets because of how much they wanted. I would have to sell the tickets for at least 40 bucks just to do it. I'm like, that's 20 bucks a band. At this point, I'm just gonna take the money
For
that it would
2 days or
cost.
for a two band show, they want to sell them for 40 bucks?
That's what I would have to do to make my money back. 'Cause it was kinda like they wanted, like, this
Well,
much, like, kinda, like, upfront, and then it was, like, the guarantee, and then, part of the guarantee, they wanted basically a 50% deposit, and I was like, "With the money that it's gonna cost me to bring you guys down, to have you guys play a show, I could get, like, 5 or 6 bands together and just throw a night and then just hope that it sells."
my God, yeah.
So 50% deposit up front versus door deal was pretty much the option that I went with. So after passing on First to 11, I went to Handguns, and they wanted to come back to Baltimore. Went back to No Takebacks and got them on the show. And then I asked my friend's Billy Rooster band to come back and play. So there's 3 bands right there. That's what it was going to be. It wasn't going to be just those 3, but that was who I had lined up within like a couple days of each other. So couple weeks go about a week goes by, and I'm thinking I need to have another band. I'm trying to get Color Me Crazy because there's a band called, the Color Me Crazy. They're from Raleigh, North Carolina, I
I've
believe.
heard of them. Yeah, I think we've interacted, but they haven't been on the show.
Okay, so having that, reaching out to them, it was kind of like, I'm like, North Carolina's not far because I was actually doom scrolling for band, like not just for bands, but my algorithm on Instagram at the time. They knew to feed me pop punk, emo, metalcore, post hardcore, all the stuff that I would listen to.
Yeah, Zuckerberg knew how to keep you around.
So this band calling me crazy, one reel popped up. I was like, oh, they sound pretty good. A few reels go by, they pop up again. I'm like, okay, let me see what this band is. They sound really, really good. I'm like, Oh, they're from North Carolina. It's not super far from Baltimore. Maybe I mean, the worst they're gonna tell me is, "No, we're not interested to come up
Yeah.
that far." So I reached out to I think it's their guitarist, Drew, who does their booking. I reached out to him, like, within an hour, he replied with, "Dude, we would love to come up to Baltimore." And, of course, the show I had for them at the time was gonna happen in February, and I said, "Unfortunately, we can't do February, our schedule's busy." And I was like, "Fine with me, we'll work around. How about in May?" May works for us. And, so I gave them the date, and they said, "Hey, that actually works perfect. We're trying to route something out around in that area anyway, so we'll get back to you." About Thanksgiving time, I reached back out and they said, "Yep, we're ready. We're just gonna sign on, man, because I don't want to keep you waiting any longer. I feel bad just keeping you because I was holding a spot for them for so long
Uh-huh.
because they had told me. Because originally it wasn't going to be a festival, like I said, it was going to be like 5 or 6 bands, but the lineup just kept getting added. I reached out to basically everybody I knew that wanted to play, and some people said yes, some people said no, some people said no for various reasons, and I was fine with it. Hey, a no is a no, a yes is a yes. One person said yes if I could guarantee that they would make a certain amount of money, and I said, I can't guarantee that because I don't know how it's gonna do. I don't want to just say yes and then find out that I'm gonna be like short of that.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah, it
just
goes from yeah,
became
it's a big difference to be out $27 or $80 versus like, oh shit, I promised
a
this
few
band
hundred.
$600 and it's like,
Yeah.
you know,
One art
I got to go hit the ATM. I don't have that money in my ATM.
yeah.
Like the way my bank
Yeah,
account's set up.
one band I reached out to was very interested to come down, but the problem was it was like I couldn't guarantee them lodging and I couldn't really guarantee them um like I couldn't really guarantee them like a certain amount of money. So it was like unfortunately I gotta forego you right now, but I'll keep you in mind for future reference because they didn't say they weren't. They would they just it's just like it would be a big risk for them to come down and play for on a certain amount of money.
No, of course. Fuck. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
even
so
factor that in paying for the lodging and stuff like that. If you're
yeah,
throwing a festival, that's the tough part too.
it's definitely one of those big things. Like I remember when I was researching it, and I'm like, I would have these bands do this, but at the end of the day, it's more like, no, can't do it. It was just like I don't want to be so far in the hole to take that risk, you know.
Yeah.
Especially with this being show number I don't even know what this is gonna be because I didn't plan to throw anything before the festival, but of course I decided I'm gonna go do
Yeah, I was
3
gonna say you
shows
book. There's a couple
beforehand.
booked before that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I got one in next week in March 6th. I got one March 6th. I got one May 27th, which is actually 3 days before the
I was gonna
festival,
say, yeah.
and then I got one on the 29th, which is the day before the festival, which I'm calling the pre-party because, I was like, I guess I can have. 'Cause that actually I'll get I'm gonna jump around, I'm sorry.
No, you're
So
good.
how the pre-party came about was, Jake from Handguns asked me if I could get him a show in DC, if I knew anybody that was, because he was trying to route to the festival that week, and the day before the festival, he's supposed to play in DC, and I said, "How about I just have you in Baltimore twice?" And I was like, "Oh crap, now
Sick.
I gotta put the show together." Because he said, "Yeah, that's fine." He's like, "That'll help me out." And I was like, "Yeah, but now I gotta find a spot to do it."
Sick.
So I think the biggest thing with this festival that when I was started to book it was who's gonna play where. Because I've already had bands. It's like I don't want to play it this time. Well, if I
I was gonna
put you
say then,
there,
yeah, especially if there's like friendly, like if you're like on a friends level with any of them too, and to any degree, it's like then you've like you know, well, someone has to open, like you know, blah blah
yeah.
blah.
I had a show come up recently where there was a band that's like, "Can we play second?" And I'm like, "No, you're opening the show because that's where I put you. You're not playing second. You're opening." Like,
What I was literally I had this thought like 30 minutes before today. So we're putting this festival together in Newport, Kentucky, and just outside Cincinnati. And beside what I was thinking, because it's the same thing, and it's like I'm gonna invite a lot of bands from you know the show and stuff, you know. So it's like I buddy, buddy. And it's like, fuck, I don't want to, how do I decide who plays at 5 and who plays at
Yeah,
8 kind of stuff. And it's like, okay. There will be clear headliners kind of, and like certain points. And I was like, and then maybe the
yeah,
bottom half, we like warp tour it style where we do random drawing and we do it.
yeah,
And we could even make content out, like actually do it random, like fucking like Royal Rumble style ball lottery thingy,
yeah. When this came up for the lineup, I was like, it hasn't been fully confirmed on everyone's side of things, but there are two bands that are supposed to be doing like some kind of couple shows together kind of run. So I picked up the tour package in a way for that. So that was kind of a contractual, like they had to play like beside each other. So that I had to make sure was in the was in the festival because I had already agreed to that with the manager of that one artist. So I was like, all right, because that's another thing. When I was looking into this, like I did not know I was going to deal with managers, and I've been dealing with that. Like I did not realize I was going to have to deal with management, agents, and all this crazy stuff. And I talked to my buddy who helped me, who I had to go to secure the date for the show, and he's like, "Yep, welcome to booking, buddy. It only goes up and down from here."
Yeah, it starts becoming a headache. Even yeah. I have a love-hate relationship with everyone that comes between just me yapping straight with the artist, like
Yeah,
just like
I'm
it's,
just
I know you and I talked about a certain artist that has been on this show where I was like, bro, it was weird. Like the PR
yeah,
person was there. I was like, what do I do? Like, am I gonna be in trouble here? Like, what do I say?
yeah.
Like,
I'm granted the managers that I've been chatting with, they're actually really, really cool and actually
yeah,
like what I do. They're not actually like what I'm thinking, like corporate level suit and tie,
no,
like cutthroat. No, these agents have been super nice. Their managers have been super great. They're like, so what's the details of the show first off before they can even say anything. So I was like, it's gonna operate based on door deal, ticket sales, how everything gets split up at the end of the night. 'Cause that's how I do my shows. I don't make bands I mean, I want them to sell tickets, don't get me wrong, like, obviously sell tickets, but I'm not gonna be mad if you can't bring me, like, 12 people, like, I get it. Like, I don't like those, like, they're called ticket minimums, I hate them. I get why they
no,
exist,
yeah, no, yeah, out here, yeah, pre-sale, all that shit, yeah,
yeah, I get it,
they fucks, yeah.
it's like, I see the side of it, I'm like, I get why they exist, but I hate them. I don't like
Yeah,
them. I
I
want
hate
them.
all. There has to be a better way to do it, and that's a bigger that's its own episode probably because yeah, I do from a business end. Yes, I do get it, but also like
My thing is, I don't like it because I'll keep it brief. I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen at shows. Some people personally say the first 10 of your tickets go to help pay for production of the show.
hmm
That part I get where you need to make sure you cover your money back for
yep,
throwing the show.
yep.
But then it's like if you don't meet that goal, you still don't get paid. I'm like, yeah, no, if they
Oh,
played, they should at least get something.
dog. Out here, if you don't sell the tickets, you need to pay the difference or you don't
Yep.
play. Yeah.
Yep, well, no. Well, that part they won't do, or at least I have never seen it. The shows I've worked, I've never seen that where they don't tell me you can't play, but they will say you don't get paid. I don't know what's worse. I mean, at least you still get to play, but at the end of the day, like, just give me $5 or something. At least,
Oh
you
shit.
know,
Yeah. No. I've had many where they don't pay. Like shit. You get fucking.
yeah,
Yeah, that's why yeah, there's pockets in LA of bands you'll hear like consistency, like the bands that have broken out of, it's like Joyce Manor stuff like that's like kind of all comes from like the South Bay, like it's a little more community there where over here I think too
yeah,
it's more when it's like more transient area, like it's more people just like we're all transplants,
right,
like there's less communal vibe. Whereas,
yeah,
like, I haven't been to Baltimore, but, I'll be a member of our team's from there, and, like, everything I hear about Baltimore, it sounds like it's a lot more communal. Like,
yeah.
kind of, there's a little more sense of scene.
Yeah. You wanna know it's really funny? Like I can book a pop punk artist and a punk rock artist and metal bands, but I've gotten emails from country artists that are trying to come through here, and I'm like, I can't book you,
You're
man.
like, "Ah, yeah."
Realistically, who can? How can I'm like country. I'm pretty sure it will sell somewhere in Maryland, but it doesn't sell where anything I go, and I don't know how to sell it either. Like, yeah, come see this country artist from Nashville.
I've
There's a
been to Maryland. The part of Maryland I was in, country would sell very well, I think.
and I don't know if it would sell in Baltimore very
No,
well, but
no, I don't,
I'd be
yeah.
like, come see this deathcore band open for this country artist from
Right? Yeah.
Nashville.
They're just doing We Are Charlie Kirk for fucking 35 minutes. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
like, and I said, look, I told the person, look, I respect you as an artist because I was listening. I was like, I'm not gonna book anybody, but I will listen to your music, and if I vibe with it, I mean, even if I don't vibe with it, like if I look up on your social media and you come across as a cool person,
Yeah.
sure, I'd take the I'd try and book you, but honestly, I was like, the music was country rock, and I'm like, this could sell somewhere, but I don't think it would sell anywhere where
Yeah.
I would have a
Nah.
show.
Baltimore's a or B market. You need to go to a C or a D market for that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
most pop punk exists here. That's pretty much what it is.
it's funny that doesn't like fly here either. It's like when like even the big country artists announce their tours and stuff, I like look at the lineup, even like kind of like the butt rock bands. Like they don't come to LA. Like they don't play the Forum or this crypto arena or whatever. Like they go to like San Bernardino or Riverside or like
Yeah.
Fresno or Arizona or Vegas. Like is as far west. Like they don't come to LA and San Francisco and shit. Like we're skipping the scary blue cities.
They
Right?
don't
Like
like going, yeah, they're scared, like, and, and that's actually kinda funny because when I was trying to book a big artist, like big, well, I wanna say a big, well, I guess big in the terms of, like, they're still popular, um, their agent told me that, they would rather not book in Baltimore, they'd rather keep it in DC unless I was willing to pay more than what DC was willing to pay, and I'm like, "No, I can't,
you're like, what the
I
fuck
don't."
you say about my
uh,
city?
I'm like, "I can't even." I'm like, I'm even scared to pay the amount that you want me to pay right now, like, even then, I'm like, that's a big jump, that's a big ask right there.
What's the most you have paid for an artist, and what's the most you would pay for an artist? Maybe not like right now, but you could see yourself like if this keeps going it this way, like in a couple years,
So,
reasonable
the
scaling.
most money I've paid for an artist hasn't even been paid yet, it's gonna be, LOL, it's Leia, who's on the festival, it's like
Uh,
$100.
I know her.
Yeah, she's great.
Her,
Yeah, she
yeah.
got added on to the last minute. So it's funny, Drew from Color, this is going back to Color Me Crazy. They asked me if there was room on her to play, and I said, I guess I'll just push everything back. So we were able to get her on the bill. We got her on the bill. Like literally the day before the announcement was made, like we locked in with her manager, and her manager's like, and I was like, "Look, I can offer you this, and then we'll just base it off of door deal." And after that, he was like, "Done, sold, signed, sealed, delivered." But
Interesting.
most I would pay for an artist, like, I'm not gonna lie, if New Found Glory called me tomorrow, like their booking agent called me tomorrow or called me today and said, "Hey, we'll play Baltimore for you for this much money," I'm gonna go apply for a loan right now.
I was gonna say the trick is I had my best pal from San Diego, Tyler, used to throw like really, really good hip hop shows. Like he booked like Wiz Khalifa before Wiz blew up, but like was still massive. Like
Oh
it was
wow.
like it was wild. And he booked Kendrick and DJ Mustard at this
Uh,
21 and over bar, and it was like 2011 or 2012. Like this like a bar the size of my fucking apartment. The same motherfucker that played the Super Bowl last year. But like
oh
he same like we're 20, 21. He didn't have the money, but like Wiz Khalifa, like these dudes cost like 8 grand, $15,000 or so. Like he'd have to like find investors to do it and stuff like that. And like
yeah.
I'm like worried, like I'm like, fuck, like I do not have that kind of money at all.
Yeah,
Like at
it's
all. Like I'm like, fuck, am I gonna have to find an investor here? Like how many do I have to pay? Like, is it just 50% most bands up front?
it depends on the artist. Um, some of the big bands I've worked with have taken like, they'll do door deal, they'll agree to it because they kind of understand, especially if they're local. Um, when it came to booking Color Me Crazy and Ella Leia, that's pretty much operating the same way. It's just I gotta offer. It's just like for Ella Leia, and I feel comfortable talking about because it's not like I have to sign like an NDA.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Their manager was super cool about it. Like, yeah, just tell me all the details. Gave them all the details. Like, look, I'll even offer this up front for you, and they were cool with it. Like, yeah, that's 100% awesome. Like, we'll do it. And I'm like, okay, that's great. So I was like, all right, cool. I guess we got 9 bands now. Which I went to the person because again, I had to pay for this, so I was like, I went to the person that I got the show date from, and I said to him, I was like, "Hey, how much is it now for 9 bands?" And he was like, "9? I thought you were only having 6." I was
That
like,
God
"Oh
damn
yeah, it's 9." He's like, "Oh, it's gonna be a little bit higher now, amigo." And I was like, "Cool with me. How much we talking?"
sick.
And it just became like this big thing. So I was like, "All right." And I basically just signed over, like, well, I didn't sign a check. I just was like, I just did Zelle, like, here you go, and sent
Damn,
the receipts and
that's not so
everything.
bad. That's not so bad. That's
No, he's
reasonable.
super, yeah, super chill about it. Like, basically just paying for sound and stuff like that. So then it's like, oh, your door person. Like, I'll run door all night if it saves me money. I will run door. He's like, it's your show. Shouldn't you get somebody? No, I'll be fine. I have my brother who's gonna help me with that. My brother,
Okay.
he'll go to the show. And when I'm not like when I have to run and do stuff for bands, because none of the bands have riders, which thank God, because I can't even
Yeah.
imagine.
I was gonna
I've
say, yeah.
I've read riders. Some of them are out. One artist I had on their rider, they wanted Milky Way Midnight. I have never been able to find that candy bar anywhere. So is it like a joke in there? Because I've also met bands where they have jokes in their riders. Like there's a band called Yim Yam. They're like a jam
Mhm.
band.
Yep.
Um, their lead singer and their writer says that they are allergic to corn. So my buddy who booked them once said, "Oh my god, I'm about to have them at this like restaurant that's a
That just serves
Tex-Mex
corn toward
place."
yeah, oh my god, there you
And
go,
they're
yep.
like, he's like, "Oh, you read that far? Oh, we just threw that in our contract as a joke." So he played it back. He went and bought corn chips, corn. He went and bought a bunch of corn different products and just put it in the green room and said, "There you go."
Sick, sick. That's
So they were like, that was just a joke that they put in there because he wasn't scared or allergic to corn.
right, just it's fun to flip in. I like when writers like make it outside of our worlds and like get it into like they ever leak onto like an Instagram or something like that and people just like lose their fucking mind and maybe just like aren't
Yeah,
grasping like yes there is some like nut jobs but like I remember there was one where it was like Jack White's and it was something like the guacamole but you like had to leave the pits in there or something like that and he's like do you think I'm eating chips and guac every day like I have a staff like I have people here working I have crew like this is for everyone else I have
yeah,
like this isn't just me,
yeah. My thing about like what I like about throwing this show is I got 9 bands. 9 bands is a lot of people. So now you got to talk about gear share, and that's the fun part. Like, does anyone like help keep space down? Because that's a
Yeah.
nightmare. Gear
Yeah.
share because
So
no
what do?
one.
You do bass and drum backline or what?
So we're gonna do 2 drum kits. It's gonna be 2 drum shares. Uh, we're gonna have. I think it's gonna be the first for because it's 9 bands. I think 8 are full bands because I'm not sure about the situation with one of them yet. If it's gonna be an acoustic or not. So if it's acoustic, then we don't have to worry about a drum for them because acoustic is just plug in the guitar into an amp and then just start singing. But
Y- Yeah. No, that's my worry too. Is like the changeover. What's a realistic changeover time? Like if you're doing
so I
this
have
many
15-minute
bands.
intervals between every set.
Sorry about that. I had to. Yeah, have you? The cute is what we aim for, guy. He's coming on later, and I've got to pick up my son,
All
so I
right.
have to distract him. So I had to have his mom drop off an iPad. Sorry about that.
Oh, nice. Oh, the cutest way. I've heard of them. I've heard of that band.
Yeah, they were fueled by Ramen Band. They were bigger for a moment, about 2006.
Yeah.
But the bass player, Fred, has been on He
Is
made a
it the same
TikTok.
guy from the Color Fred?
No, no, that's Fred from Taking Back Sunday.
Oh, there's so many Freds. It's like there's so many different out here we have Nicks. There's so many Nicks out here.
That's funny. I saw a tweet literally this morning that was like, if you're a 2000s emo kid, you have a favorite with a basic ass white guy name. Like it's a
Yeah,
Pete, it's a Patrick, it's a Chris, it's a Mike. Like,
yeah,
and I was
yeah,
like, fuck, I'm a Rob. Like, we all, fuck.
yeah. I don't know many Rob. Well, actually, no. My buddy Rob is a bass player in ZFL. It's a metal band.
Oh shit. Okay. One
So
B or two.
there's a few Robs. Mhm.
Like one
But
B or two in the name.
I think it's one.
Okay, different thing. So, anyways,
Yeah.
the backline.
So I'm hoping changeover between each set. So like we have the first set from 2:30 to 3, and then the next one will be like 3:15 to 3:45. And hopefully we can keep it within that 15-minute intervals. We just have to have the show done by 11. Granted, my headliner is only planning to do a 35 to 40-minute set compared to the hour that we have her booked for. So there's always that leeway. And it hasn't been fully announced yet because we haven't shot the movie yet. But before her set, because she's in the movie, she's the main actress. We're gonna debut the
Sick.
trailer. We're debuting the movie trailer at before her set.
You announced
Hopefully,
her in the on your Instagram, right? Or am I getting?
yeah.
Yeah.
She's
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's Armani Broken. She's. Been in the Yeah, this is like we shot a movie last year, and actually we're actually hosting Germfest, the 1 year anniversary from when the first one was released last year, which my producer Caitlin told me that recently. Is like because originally we
Shout
weren't
out,
going to show
Caitlin.
the trailer. We were going to put the trailer online before the release of, obviously before the release. We were planning on putting out Killer Woods 2. I was going to release it in May, but because it's going to be a year to the date, she said, "Why don't you just show the movie? Why don't you just turn Germfest into a premiere?" And I said, "No, because then I don't want to take away from the bands because the movie's longer than the first one." So I was like, "Why don't I just show the trailer and then put out the movie in June?" And she's like, "Yeah, do that." So before the movie comes, so before I release any of the footage online, we're debuting the first footage at Germfest. If the film is shot by then, because we don't know, I don't, anything can happen between now and then.
I like the idea of JermFest. So,
Yeah,
the film is Germ.
no, the film is Killer Woods 2.
Okay, that's yes, yes. So,
So
what is
Germfest
JermFest?
so Germfest is
Because your
actually
name.
my name's Jeremy, and the band Velvet Divide, who's on the show, came up with the name, and I said, "We're keep," and all the bands liked it, so I was like, "Well, I guess we're keeping it,"
I like
because
that. I like that.
I didn't know what to call it, like Jeremy's birthday bash. No, that sounds stupid. It sounds doesn't that sound as it doesn't sound like original. So Germfest it is.
JermFest is tight. JermFest is what? Yeah, that grabs attention every time.
Yeah, and we're gonna have vendor. We have a vendor, which I'm very excited about because I didn't know if I was gonna have anything like that. Like people were asking me to do tattoos. I don't want to bring a tattoo artist to Germfest because then
I
you
was,
got to pay them X amount of money.
I don't know on I don't know if there should be a tattoo artist at something phonetically called JermFest. Doesn't seem like a
Yeah.
place you should be getting tattooed at, but it's
Yeah.
interesting that that's I don't
Somebody
know.
asked for tattoos. My friends Jasper and Jupiter, who actually designed this shirt for me, um,
Sick.
they're gonna be doing. They're actually doing exclusive band merch for that show with some of the bands. A couple of the bands that signed on to do it. I don't know who signed up, but she told me like 4 bands are doing merch exclusively with her. And the point is for people to come buy it because
Mhm.
it's a 1 day only merch item. You're not gonna be able to buy it
Oh,
anywhere else.
I was just thinking there right there. Yeah, I'm stealing
And
that idea from myself. Like I'm like, festival blouses. Get
yeah,
some of your money back.
yeah, festival merch, and I'm not taking nothing from the vendor. I'm not taking nothing from them. I told them they can keep all profits, but they're working out the deal with the bands to where because I'm not doing that, they're gonna be like 50-50 profit on that merch item. So like if they sell the shirt for $20, it's gonna be $10 for them, $10 for them, for the band. So I thought that was pretty cool. And I'm like, "Yeah, do that." And people ask me, "Why aren't you charging that?" And I said, "Because I'm not charging the bands to sell merch. Why am I gonna charge the vendor to do that?"
Mhm.
I mean, think about it. Merch people are technically vendors.
Yeah.
So why would I charge my vendors that have, like, jewelry and shirts and I don't know what else they have, but, like, why would I charge them when I'm not charging you to have merch here? Like, I don't s you know?
No, that's true. And I mean that also, like, as someone, like, you're trying, like, everything to some element, I imagine, is still, like, grassroots, DIY, punk rock at heart. Like, it's like
Yeah,
you're doing a merch cut, you're basically doing the same thing the
yeah.
presale event, it's like that.
I won't do it. I merch cuts are blasphemous, and I hate them so much because
Yeah.
I'm not gonna I had no part in designing that t-shirt. I have no right to take a dollar from your t-shirt,
No.
and I'm
I'm
very trans
hypothetically, I'm already making money off of your presence.
yeah. So, I'm like and I'm fully transparent about everything when it comes down to why the set times are built, why I have them. I'm very transparent on how much money this is costing. Very transparent on all that. Like I'm telling the bands, like, look, I normally don't take ticket sales from bands. I usually take everything and I split it up at the end of the night evenly. I don't take no ticket guarantees, no minimums. I don't. I tell people just tell people to come and buy a ticket at the door if you don't want to sell in advance.
Mhm.
Cool. But for this show, I am taking like I've already told each band, I'm taking at least 2 ticket sales to help cover to help cover production, to help me make some of my money back. Normally, I don't take anything. Normally, I just split everything down the middle.
No, that's reasonable, that's reasonable.
And a
I was
lot of people
thinking I
don't
was thinking that as well too, like, I'm thinking, like, for our first festival, like, type thing, I was like, because logistic-wise, I'm, like, looking at things, I'm like, "Oh, this could make solid money." I was like, "Or I could do the first one and openly be transparent and say, 'I'm going to make no money except for cost, and we're gonna put all the money back into this the first year.'"
yeah.
Like, I was like,
It
and it'd still be like I was like, "It'd still be almost worthwhile, like, in the long run, maybe."
yeah, it can be, it is scary,
Yeah.
because you don't know what the festival is gonna do. It's like, I could do this show and be like, "Oh, crap, I'm not doing any more shows after this." No, I'll still do shows. It's not gonna financially kill me.
Yeah, you'll still be able to continue doing stuff.
Yeah, I mean, especially it wasn't expensive. I mean, well, I say that it's like I know it makes me sound like I'm making of money. I'm not. If I was, I'd have Newfound Glory on the festival, no questions asked. That's my all-time favorite band. I have seen them
I was gonna
25
say,
times.
I was that a Newfound Glory show? I, I this is a bad story. I'm gonna tell it anyways. I sold a ticket. I needed to buy a ticket to this show. It was Newfound Glory in Bayside, and I bought me
Oh,
and my friend Amanda Rose and 2.0. We went and met this lady at Craig's at the mall from Craigslist, and I sold her or we bought a ticket off her. And then she texted us. She was like a few years older than us. And she texted us and was like, "I want to come to the show too. Like, I changed my mind. Like, I went and bought one on Ticketmaster. I'm gonna come hang out with you guys." And we're like, "All right." And she came, and this girl got way too drunk. And then I was 19 or 20. Like, I wasn't 21 yet. And I had like one drink, maybe, because I wouldn't be able, maybe someone like handed me a drink, but I definitely didn't have like a point oh oh, because I got breathalyzed later. That we'll get to that. But anyways, this girl starts acting crazy, and for some reason in San Diego, I think it's because it's like a military town. There's a lot of fucking like tough guy bullshit. I always have trouble at the House of Blues, but we're there, and this girl's like pushing in front, and this guy leans, like, grabs me, and he says, and I quote, "You need to check your bitch." And I'm like, I don't know who this girl is. Like, I don't know, like, what the fuck are we, like, Jesus, like, like very aggressive. And we go to leave, and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go stay with you." And we go to leave, and she takes a left on a red, and we get pulled
oh,
over, and yeah, she got a DUI, and I had a Canadian driver's license, but my buddy Justin had to come pick me up. Yeah,
oh.
yeah, bad look. So every time I think of Newfound Glory, I'm like, ah, that lady was a teacher. I hope she's okay. I hope those kids are okay.
Yeah, my favorite Newfound Glory memory was actually hilarious. It was like me and my friend went to go see them at the Fillmore Silver Spring. I like the
Sick.
venue. It's just far for me to get to because I don't like going an hour and a half away. It's
It's
just because
funny,
then you
like
got to
I
make
know
that
I know of these places, I hear of them because of like CZB, so it's like I'm like, oh wow, okay, like I'm familiar,
yeah.
like I know the area, but I have no fucking clue.
Right. Well, from where I live, it's about an hour 20 minutes to get there, and then of course when you're getting there, you got traffic, so it sucks even more. But when you're coming home, it's fine. But me and my friend, we're driving. He's driving back, and his low tire light pressure, his pressure light comes on, and he's
Damn.
like, "We might get a flat tire in the middle of nowhere, but we'll be fine. We got newfound glory jams." And I'm like, "Oh, great. Can you find a gas station, put air in the tire?" Yeah, we never did, and we did end up on the side of the road, but the second we got near where I live, we were at the time, we stopped at the gas station, the air pump was broken,
Jesus.
and he asked me if any drug because at the time where I lived at, I worked at the gas station, and there was always people outside, pan
Yeah.
begging,
Yeah,
panhandling.
I'm familiar with the gas station scene.
Yeah. So so and my friend, he's like, "I wonder which one of the people broke it." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Well, you can't tell me that they wouldn't at least try." And I'm like, "They're not trying to have a fight with the gas station pump. They're trying to have a fight with you about you getting them money." And he's like,
Right?
"Oh,
Yeah,
well."
they want, yeah, they're here, yeah, they're working.
Yeah, some of those people, man, I commend the hustle because we when it was like we get really bad winters here, and they'll stand out there negative like 2 temperatures.
Yeah,
Like
fuck that.
I'm like, oh, I feel bad. Like I almost want to give you $5 just to leave.
Right? Yeah, like, ah, yeah, 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 they got Greyhound, get on that Amtrak. Fuck. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Oh, I love it. I never been on a Greyhound bus.
Never been on the Greyhound? I used to have to go on the Greyhound all the time. I'd go from San Diego to Bakersfield. It was
Yeah.
the worst. The ride from
Oh.
LA to Bakersfield for some reason like was always like half full of like like dudes fresh out of jail, like gray sweatsuit, like clear trash bag full of their belongings, like fresh out of the jail. It was
Oh.
it was not like I've drank fucking beers on the bus with criminal scary old ladies. I've had people offer me like crystal meth on the Greyhound. Like, do not
Oh.
recommend. One time, the first time I had to take a Greyhound, my mom would spend like Christmas in Palm Springs, and my dad lived in San Diego, but it was snowing in the mountains, so they wouldn't let cars through. And my mom was all mad. She's like, "I'm from Canada, like let me drive." They're like, "This is California, like you need chains on your tires. It's not how it works." And so I had to take a Greyhound, but I had to go the long way, and I had to stop in this town called Calexico, which is like there's Calexico, Mexican border, Mexicali. Like when you get out of the Greyhound station, it's like a brick wall. Like them motherfuckers like build the wall. The wall already exists. Like it was already there in 2004. Trust me. And like I'm like 15 years old, little white boy. I'm so scared. I'm there for like 3 hours, and when I get on the Greyhound back to Palm Desert and I get back, I realize I left my suitcase in Calexico. Like I was,
Oh.
she's like, "Oh, you think you're so tough? You got so scared. You're like alone. You weren't even in Mexico. Like you're still in America." And I'm like, looking back, I'm like, "Oh, I was such a pussy." Like,
Yeah. Me and my friend, we talked about taking a Greyhound to go to Louder Than Life this year because there's a lot of bands that he wants to see, and
yeah, quite the lineup. Yeah,
he's like, "Jeremy, I have never said this about Louder Than Life because they've always like." He's like, "They've always had lineups that are like, they're so good, but they also turn me off." He's like, "But
right. It's
this
like
year,
half and half. I think they're overwhelming. It's like, oh, this is the
yeah."
coolest thing I've seen, and then like, oh, that's fucking corny.
He said there's a lot of bands on there that he would love to see because he's like, "There's some bands on there that don't come near here." He's like, I'm gonna go see them." He's like, "Get Scared's also coming back," and I was like, "I don't care."
Yeah, I think I missed them. I remember like watching this video about TX2, and they were like, "Oh,
Uh,
we ripped up Get Scared." I'm like, I don't know who that fucking is either. In like 2009, I turned off of pop punk for like 10 years. I got over it for some reason. I like it
yeah,
wasn't
you go.
I
I
liked the
go through
California. I liked
phases.
you mentioned Newfound Glory being your favorite band. Blink was my favorite band. I liked when pop
Oh,
punk was more like Blink in like 08, 09 to 2010. Pop
yeah.
punk becomes like it's all like I had a TikTok about recently where I was just like it all just becomes like less good Newfound Glory to me. Like all y'all like from A Day to Remember to fucking Man Overboard to handguns, like all y'all are just trying to do understatement and you're not doing it as good.
Yeah. Oh, I love one of my favorite bands. I got that's they've changed a little. Well, I don't know if they're really still around, but the story so far.
They're around still. I think they're a bigger one. I haven't really listened to them a lot because they were in that period where I wasn't listening, but I'm under the impression they are very, very, very
I
big.
I saw them with Amity Affliction, which is a very weird. It was a very weird lineup for me
Wow.
because Amity Affliction is a heavy band, and
I
here
was
and
gonna
they're
say, yeah. What year is this? Like 2014?
no, this was like 2000. It was right before COVID, I think, or
Oh,
right
okay, okay.
or like right after like when shows came back. It was a very weird time. I know no, it had to be before COVID, I think. I think it was, or right around that time. It's weird. That period of my life is like blank because I was a very big heavy drinker back then, and now I've gotten a little bit better. Because
A little less
my thing
sauce.
is, huh?
A little less sauce.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like right before COVID, I was almost 3 years sober, and then when this virus hit, I was like, I ain't going sober if I'm going.
Yeah, yeah, tough spot, tough spot.
I was like, I ain't going sober if that's the case. And so my first show back from actually all of COVID, my very first show back was the Offspring.
Wow.
My
Interesting.
mom did not like that. She did not want me going to this concert at Fillmore Silver Spring. I said they're demanding Vax cards, and she goes, "You can fake those now." And I'm like, "Well, I'm going.
Ah, that's
The
sweet.
tickets."
Fellow coastal elitists afraid of COVID, like us out here in LA. Me too. I was like, yeah, I was like, most of it, like, we were, I remember like we went to like Vegas in like late 2021 and we all got COVID. We were like, that's what we get, you know? And
I
whereas like
never got
everyone
it.
from back home's like, fuck this. Oh, you didn't?
No, never.
Oh, yeah, I had it for like 8 hours, but I willed it away with marijuana and Mountain Dew and good vibes.
Yeah, one of my friends flew to Texas during her time, during when the flights were so cheap, like during COVID,
Mm-hmm.
and she went to like like for some reason clubs found a way to operate like
Yeah,
not legally.
there was little workarounds of every bullshit thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so she went to this place. She got like hammered with like two people, and she never got sick, but they got sick.
Damn,
And I
wonderful.
was like, that's so crazy. But like my favorite show that I've been to since COVID, I went and saw Set It Off and Simple Plan at the Fillmore in 2022. That was an awesome show.
Simple Plan do a really good job of like I feel like they're really good at the elder statesman thing, you know? Like they
Yeah,
play their
they're
role well, like them and Hawthorne Heights, and I'd
yep,
say you know like those are maybe the two where it's like they know what they are. Newfound Glory as well, but Newfound Glory is like a little more.
pop
They're not
punky.
and they're just like maybe a little more interesting. Where I think like Simple Plan really like they acknowledge like same with Hawthorne Heights where they're very much like we are your emo phase, you know, like
Yep.
kind we remind you. And it's like I remember seeing Good Charlotte in like 2019, and they're like we're gonna take you back to 2003 basically, and like it's like you're kind of embracing what which is good. It's like a lot of these people aren't here for the new stuff, and that's not it sucks either way, but it's like embrace the good side of it is like you made these people very, very happy. That's what they want. Give them that hit of serotonin. It might not always be for me, but like, god damn, that's still special.
Yeah, I haven't seen Good Charlotte live ever. Um, they kind of lost me when they went to like a different side of their music. Which I mean,
Yeah.
change is never. I'm never against change, but if I don't like it, I might tune out for a little bit. But then the other hand, change has actually helped me. I was never an MGK. I'm not an MGK fan, but I will not lie. I did like a lot of the pop punk stuff that he did start doing.
The Downfall record.
Yeah, Downfall and Mainstream Sellout.
I think it's a really good gateway record in the sense that like there's songs on there I listen to where I'm like, oh, this is so clearly like a Blink derivative or no like almost no effects derivative, but it's like ideally you're 15, that's your first time hearing anything like that. That's gonna lead you to Blink, which is gonna lead you to Lagwagon. I think
Yep.
enough people did that where it's worth the bad.
I got to see Lagwagon with Less Than Jake a few years ago.
Fuck, that's sick. I haven't gotten to see either of those bands.
Less Than Jake is a fun time, and honestly, I went and saw them when it was supposed to be a Newfound Glory and Simple Plan tour, but Simple Plan dropped off the tour, and they got Less Than Jake to fill in, and I was like, "All right, a band I've been wanting to see, I can now go see for the price of the band I'm already trying to go see." But I
Wicked.
had but I had to suffer through Hot Mulligan because I don't like them.
I I uh I I like the idea of Hot Mulligan a lot. They're not my favorite band, but I think they're a net good. Same thing.
I like their live energy. They have that. I do like
Yeah.
that. When I saw them live, they did have the energy for that. And it's actually where I met Lolo. She opened
Oh
that
shit.
show.
Oh shit. Good for her. Damn.
Yeah, I love. Yeah, that was the very first time. I think that's when she started to get big, like right around the time. I was like, oh my, and like I had never heard of her. I was like, oh cool. I didn't know there. I thought Hot Mulligan was the opener at that time.
Right? Yeah. No. Yeah. Lolo be popping off. Shout out Lolo, our dear friend of the show.
Yeah.
Before I let you go, two questions. One, on a report card, F to A, how do you grade your experience with the enigma animal known as Jake Langley?
Um, maybe a C.
It's pretty good.
I haven't really had much interaction with him outside of like when he played my show back in October and when I was trying to get when I was talking to him about doing the festival and stuff, but I haven't really talked to him much about it.
Beautiful. And my last question here: when is Germfest? Where is it? How can these motherfuckers buy tickets?
All right, so if you want to go to it is May 30th in Baltimore, Maryland at Zen West. Doors are at 2 p.m. Shows at 2:30. If you want to buy tickets, you can go to you can go to app.tickethive.com/e/Germfest, or you could just come buy tickets at the door, or you could hit me up on Instagram at a Jeremy in the Wild and we can work something out. I haven't announced this yet, but we can announce it here. I don't know when this is coming out, but if you hit me up through Instagram, I can get you. I'm going to work a ticket deal out where if you want to come to both days, May 29th and May 30th for one set price, just reach out to me and we'll work out that deal.
Beautiful, beautiful. And yeah, all
Oh,
the
it is
links,
also all ages. If you,
all the links
it
he
is.
mentioned, by the way, they're going to be down here in the description, so you guys can find them there as well. Uh, go check this out. I'm fascinated. I'm going to try to have our correspondent there solely because I need some Jake Langley adjacent
I
in my
was gonna
life.
mention if your correspondent wants to come out, have her reach out to me directly, and I will make sure she gets all access wristbands and everything.
Of course, we appreciate you. Thank you for joining me, Jeremy.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate the shit out of you.
Hey man, it's your boy Petty Hendrix, man. You tuned in to Emo Kids Anonymous. Check it out, you did.